For an update on the war in Gaza, we bring in Jonnathan Tobin, the editor-in-chief for the Jewish News Syndicate. Good morning, Jonathan. Good to see you. So first, could you give us an update on the progress of the war, especially now with some reports and analysts actually coming out saying that the war might end in the foreseeable future?
Well, good morning, and thanks for having me on. As for the war ending, I'm cautious about stating when it will end or about the foreseeable future. It will end. And the point being, the reason why there has been this flurry of diplomatic activity is that because Israel is making real progress towards finishing the war. Hamas has been backed into its last major enclave in Gaza, in Rafah. Its capabilities of fighting have been reduced markedly. Its ability to shoot missiles into Israel, we has shot over 15,000 missiles during and after the October 7th massacres. That has been reduced. Hamas is on its last legs. And so that is why those who don't want Israel to actually win the war and to eliminate the terrorist threat from Hamas are trying to stop the war before that victory occurs. And that is something that Israel's people, I just came back from an extended stay there and covering the war. That is something that I think the vast majority, the overwhelming majority, including many who don't back Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, will not accept. They will not accept a situation in Gaza where Hamas is allowed to survive this war. And if it survives it, it will declare itself the victor, and it will be rightly be seen as the victor because it then will have gotten away with mass murder and will be able to make good on its pledges to repeat the October 7th massacre again and again. That's something that Israel simply isn't going to allow.
Okay, so let's talk about the role and the impact that UN could have on all of this, because the US just vetoed a resolution from Algeria, as we know, and proposed one themselves, as we also have heard earlier in the show, that for the first time involved language like, words of like ceasefire. So if the UN would be able to pass that, what would that change for Israel in the war, and would it impact Israel in the war?
Well, certainly a UN Security Council ceasefire resolution would put Israel under tremendous pressure to stop its campaign of self-defense. The United States has always prevented such measures from being passed in the UN Security Council. I would say that the US proposal is troubling because it raises the possibility. It's clearly meant as leverage over Netanyahu to try to make him stop the campaign, not so much because this administration thinks that Hamas should survive, but this is for political reasons. Biden is under tremendous pressure from the left wing of the Democratic Party, his intersectional activist left wing, which, quite frankly, is at war with him. There's a civil, an ongoing revolt within the administration, the Biden campaign, and the Democratic Party in general, from people who are against Israel. They are the minority of the American people. The majority of the American people support Israel. And I would say that Biden is foolish if he thinks that there are more votes to be lost among left-wingers and anti-Semites than among centrist pro-Israel Americans.
Right.
But that is the direction he's trending.